Hey everyone, Core here again, and it's that time of the week again. It's time for another midnight review, and this week I changed it up a little bit. Originally, for my previous reviews, you may have noticed I've been mentioning Hercules. Well, kind of changed our mind on that. When I say we, I mean me and two of my other friends. They kind of wanted to see a different movie. They wanted to see Lucy instead of Hercules. And of course, it's always best to see movies with other people because then afterwards you get to talk about it and stuff like that. So we saw Lucy instead, which I'm very happy about it. I mean, there were some. So first, if you don't know the story, of course, it's um, Scarlett Johansson, which is probably the only female actress's name that I know and could say correctly. uh, she plays like a little kind of ditzy blonde and stuff like that. But she's over there in shoot, in China, I believe, um, where she's it seems like she's learning and she's visiting and stuff like that. She's with friends, but she kind of gets stuck in this drug ring where she has to make a drop off, but the drop off kind of goes sour because the bigger yakuza kind of mafia people kind of take them out, and she gets stuck in the middle, and she ends up being like a drug mule. And during that drug mule, of course, the drugs are these like experimental synthesized drug that you know if you take too much of it, it starts um, it starts giving you more brain functionality. So that's the whole premise of the whole movie is pretty much her going through the different percentages and stuff for the drug that she just took. Well, took involuntarily, of course, because the bag that they implant into her rips, so it gets infused pretty much through her blood and everything. So she gets a bigger dose than normally what someone would take. But but yeah, so of course that's all stuff from trailers and everything. So you should know about that if you've seen any trailers. I gotta say it is a good movie. She does a really good job. I do like her acting here just because as the movie progresses, she kind of starts, as she gets more and more brain activity, the percentages keep going up. She becomes more emotionless because she senses everything and she can't, you know, I guess you could say she evolves or her functionality is past emotion because she could do all this other stuff. So her body doesn't need to be emotional or to show emotion. So she plays that very well. I mean, as far as actresses, Kristen Stewart, they always say shows no emotion in her face. Seems like she can't. Of course, Scarlett Johansson has shown emotion. I mean, she's been in quite a few movies. Of course, she wouldn't be getting chosen for these movies if she didn't. But it's pretty interesting to not show emotion, after you've shown emotion through so many other acting roles and stuff like that. So I would say this is a more harder acting gig to not show emotion, be more of a blank slate, but still taking in all this information and stuff that she's doing, than someone that, just is showing emotion all the time. So I definitely do like it. I definitely do like it, and I definitely do like her in this role. I really can't think of anyone else taking this role. So she really shows it really well. She really does it very well. It's late, of course. um, what else? As far as other actors, I mean, Morgan Freeman is in it. He's the one that's doing the whole, he's been researching what's the percentages of, animals and people, what happens at higher percentages if you use your brain, more functionality and stuff like that. So she contacts him, and the story goes on from there. Uh, don't want to spoil too much because it is a good movie, definitely. I mean, it's a short movie; it's only an hour and a half, so definitely, if you have time and you're interested in it, definitely go see it. It is going to be interesting to see what the critic reviews on it. I haven't checked myself, just because some of the stuff they bring up in the whole movie, is interesting. I mean, a lot of it's just theory, but it is theory that seems plausible. If we ever get to that point, of course, that would be hundreds of thousands, if not millions of years before we get, higher. But it is interesting to see uh, a movie that takes it. As far as the filming, directing, and stuff like that, It's fine. It's perfect. It's, it fits. It suits it. The only thing I think was a little much. There's a car chase in it, which has a lot of cars flipping and stuff like that, which seems like for her abilities and stuff, she doesn't need that stuff to happen the way it does. As far as the crashing and stuff, which I guess they just wanted just to make it more actiony, which is fine. I mean, it's cool, but personally, I don't think they needed it. Besides that, there's really no other big name actors. I mean, it's a good story. She gets her revenge. Um, there's shooting, there's action, there's some really crazy scenery. Um, all the CG stuff that they use is really amazing. So it's a truly beautiful movie, at least, to say that too. The sceneries and the places that they go, it's really impressive. Some of it's not even real, and they have to make it, so it looks real a lot of times. So it's really cool to see. What else? What else? What else? What else? Music was good. There was a little filming technique in the beginning that they kind of ditched, like literally like 10 minutes into the movie, which I kind of wish they would have continued using it. It reminds me of Requiem for a Dream, the way that they were doing it, where they would show other things that are kind of related to it, but aren't. They're just completely out of context, but it fits, to what's going on to her, and I kind of wish they would have kept it. It was an interesting thing, but it would have. I guess it would have got boring after a while. But yeah, it's a good movie though. I do recommend it. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, or seeing something different besides Hercules, of course, or the fluffy movie if you don't want to laugh, or Hercules if you don't want to see anything medieval style, Greek or Roman style, I should say. Um, it's definitely a good alternative. It's more sci-fi. It's more interesting thinking. Theological thinking, pretty much. So if you're interested in that, definitely see it. Besides that, next week is gonna be interesting because next week is Guardians of the Galaxy, and I am really hoping I get a ticket because I'm expecting this one to be a big one. I'm expecting this movie to do better than Transformers, which Transformers did 100 million opening weekend. So I'm really hoping for Guardians because from what I've been seeing, they're gonna love it. But until next time, guys, later.